Hey peeps, Charlie's here, so he gets to see me put a CPU into a laptop right over there.
Oh.
And he'll be setting up his mic so that we can hear his jokes and everything.
His silence.
If you saw my video about us cleaning up this basement, just a little bit of an update. Let's see if I can show you with this light. I moved these shelves behind my desk. I still have to go through them. TV's over there. This whole wall is cleared. Got all this Christmas junk that I might just get rid of because I haven't used it since I moved in here.
Christmas garbage.
But I digress. On to the video of putting the CPU in. I did leave something out of the last video about how I looked up which CPU this had and which ones it could take. I'll just throw that up on the screen. I found IBM's webpage for this model, and I confirmed that this had one of the CPUs on that list. And then I bought the top one in that list.
Hey.
Can you run up and get my magnetic parts tray? The ifixit kit has this lid that I'm going to be putting some of the screws in to organize. But here's the Wi-Fi card that came in. Maybe you can see it. And here's a CPU. Got this red foam on it to protect the pins. Yep, it's a PGA, which means pin grid array. Just like before, we're going to take this apart in order and get the ones that are indicated for memory first. Hurry up, Charlie!
I don't know what it looks like at all. Magnetic.
Alright, so I got this magnetic parts tray. It's going to help me a little bit. I think I'm going to use a parts tray for all the screws that are for the basic user serviceable stuff because I have to organize the other ones so I know where they go back in. So I got all the memory only ones. I didn't get the full recording of all the work we did last night to clean up this basement. Now I'm looking at it. I got screws right here. I don't know if they have to come out or not. And I'm going to go like this and go around the perimeter and put them around the same shape in there. Their same layout.
This is a convenient setup to record. I like it. It's not as messy.
That's a long one. Jiminy Christmas. This screw goes on forever.
Sometimes that happens to me when I'm like unscrewing things on stuff.
What kind of stuff do you unscrew?
Like, you know, the packages that the model cars go in. You have to
Oh
unscrew
yeah, and they
them.
have screws that go on for days. I hate that.
And most of the cheaper ones, they don't go on for days, they go on for hours. Hours and hours.
All these screws are different lengths. Not cool, bro. I don't even know how many of them actually are necessary to take out. So I have done this before, folks.
Humans.
Humans. This is the hard drive thingy. I'm leaving the screw inside of that.
Because reasons that we probably know already.
Now let's see what I can do without taking those out. That's kind of loose, loose, loose. That's... those have to come out.
They're important-ish, or something.
This video is definitely for people that have lots of patience and some technical aptitude. Not necessarily for everybody. The CPU is under this heat pipe heatsink assembly right here. And we can only change out the CPU if we can get to it. Don't rearrange those. I got random screws in there from things.
Random.
Like these are from another IBM that had extra screws because I had to buy a pack of screws. This looks like plastic clips.
Oh, that's a son of a nutcracker. I don't like plastic clips either.
This thing in the ifixit kit has gotten a lot of use. It's a spudger, I think it's called. But
It's very dull now.
it's always dull. It's not for cutting. It's for getting in between things.
You know the orange thing that gets in between things for Lego, and also sometimes it's blue for some reason?
So the CD-ROM might be doing something.
Basically that, except metal.
So one of the screws I took out let go of the CD-ROM, maybe? Nope. Nope. No screw holes on a CD-ROM. So CD-ROMs are normally mounted with a little bracket on the end, and it's one screw that goes through the back of the laptop. Now with this one, there's a release thing. Getting that out of the way to see if there's something holding on to this. Get that flat head again and pop these plastic clips. There you go.
How many screws did the Urus have? I think one, right?
Oh, that Christmas present you had?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It was either 1 or 0. It was
One
a
or
lot,
zero?
It was a lot easier to unscrew because there was none.
Speaking of unscrew, do you think I can get that heatsink out without tearing down the whole case? I'm gonna try.
I have no idea.
He's got weird screws.
He's got random screws.
So far, these are all the same length. Hey, can you turn off the dehumidifier?
Yeah,
Turn the knob counterclockwise.
sure. Or counterclockwise.
Yep.
Oops. I was like, I can't turn that anymore. I don't want to break it.
All right, so
You didn't see that.
maybe the spudger will help me with this part. The problem is I don't want to break any of the ICs on the motherboard. This is this tool.
Just thinking.
Okay, that popped that off easy.
Yay!
That's the GPU.
Without breaking those. Sometimes they look kind of like cities, except they're artificially green.
And there's a wire right here I have to undo.
That was easier than I expected.
That was easier than expected. That's a thermal pad. I'm actually going to want to put gloves on and clean that. I'll clean both of these. Can you get me nitro gloves from over there? And I'm going to get a rag and some naphtha. I need 2 of those.
Because you're a human, not a weird alien hybrid.
Because
Or
I'm human, not a
just-
weird alien hybrid. I have 2 hands.
kind
You
of.
can use rubbing alcohol for this as well. I just happen to have naphtha in the basement
Everything.
for working on guitar stuff. So I poured a little bit on here.
And that's lucky.
Where did I put? This always happens to me. I turn around for 2 seconds, can't remember where I put something. Oh, here it is.
Ah!
I'm gonna clean the Mr. Yawn face.
Yeah. Kind of weird.
I'm gonna clean the thermal pad firsters, because this is gonna get gunky from cleaning that. This is the old thermal paste that was on there before. Yeah, good and clean. Now this thing's clean inside. So previous owner didn't use it very much, apparently.
Wow.
Just regular dust, you know?
Instead of garbage.
Instead of garbage all crammed up inside of it. Like all laptops normally are, because we're humans and we shed. You may be like, Rob, why are you cleaning the old CPU? Who cares? You're taking it out. I don't like dirty things.
Dirty things are dirty.
Dirty things are dirty.
And garbage.
And garbager. They're more garbager.
Is that a word?
No.
Yes. Not that.
All right, so that's nice and clean. Put that aside for now. You see my habit? I take my rag and I set it down next to me. That's why my workshop gets looking like trash. Because I'm also a
Doing
cheapskate.
trash.
I use the same rag forever until it's all covered with stuff.
You do poor person things.
All right, so all I did was turn this counterclockwise 1 turn, and I'm not going to go any more. Then I'm going to take this out. Super careful so I don't bend any pins. Turn it over. You got to practice your robot voice. What was that word?
I don't know.
Was it just a robot learning how to breathe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe his first time discovering an emotion, and all he could say was, yeah.
You discovered a new emotion. Plus 5,000 cash. What?
Like it's a game.
Yeah. Huh? Dot.
This is not
Out of
falling
sense.
straight in, so I'm going to visually inspect the pins. And I have a slightly bent pin.
Please
This
don't.
pin on this end is bent. You guys are just going to have to trust me. You get to see how I fix it. Oh, there we go.
With ifixit. Literally.
I can actually probably use the ifixit.
To ifixit.
When I tried to do that, it made that gimbal start tripping out. And so I'll have to line this triangle up right here with right there. All right, so that end wants to fall in. Hold on. I'm going to double check this is still recording.
Well, that was a son of a nutcracker.
So it went in on this side, but not the other side. So I had to take it back out and check for more bent pins. Another good tool to straighten out bent pins is a razor blade or like an X-Acto blade. There's a bent pin over here in the middle. So when you get bent pins, they're usually around the edge from shipping.
Because reasons unknown.
Because it gets shook around and stuff.
And slapped in the nutcrackers.
There we go. Now it wants to go all the way down. So, tighten that down 1 turn and stop. And it's done. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I'm going to take my old CPU and put it in there.
With cushioning included.
This should still have some naphtha on it. There's a good spot. Get that. We don't want any dust or anything in between this and what goes on top of it. This one has the thermal pad, and this one's going to have thermal paste. I prefer, whatever you call it, the little spatula thing method. Some people think, oh, this is too much thermal paste. And I think, no, this is how you make sure you have enough without taking the thermal interface off and then back on again. And I just got a whole bunch all over my glove. My bad. Can you get the next rag on top of that box? I like to make sure it's completely covered.
Yeah, you want too much thermal paste, not too little.
It's better to have too much than too little. It's not very likely that thermal paste is going to become conductive and interfere with something else on your motherboard if it gets over there, but you do want to make sure it's
contained.
Contained, yeah. Can you grab me a Q-tip from upstairs?
Sure. Human.
This is from me rushing opening the thing, so I got extra. Charlie's getting me a Q-tip. You got the sniffles?
For some reason, yes.
That's where you got your name, the Charlie Monster.
I sneeze giant sneezes and sometimes duplicate giant sneezes.
Yeah, and it was back before you knew how to blow your nose, so you'd be sneezing all over your toys. And you had this giant city made out of all your toys. And I was like, the Charlie Monster's come to drip boogers all over the towns. And this one time when he was older, and I still called him Charlie Monster even though he learned how to blow his nose. And he was helping me work on the Nova in the garage. And I turned off the lights because we were done. And I was like, oh no, the lights are off. I can't see where the Charlie Monster is. He could get me. And he goes, ngang, 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 in the darkness.
Nang, 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 nang. I still have the city.
Yeah, you still have those blocks. They're down here. R.I.P. headphone users. You're hearing him drag the blocks over.
Extreme volume warning should be at the beginning.
Yeah, these kind of blocks he would build cities out of. Remember when I first started keto, you made a city and didn't know what to call it? And for some reason we named it after the food I was eating, which was bacon. We called it pigdom or something.
Oh, pigdom. Yeah. I remember that now.
I'm going to do diagonal so that I get even pressure across the CPU.
I'll do whatever that means.
Hey, if you guys want to hear me play that on the guitar, get subscribed. I'm planning on having all the music on my YouTubes be my music, stuff I made, even if it's just from my loop library that I use when I make my songs. It's not stuff I made, but it's royalty-free stuff I paid for. I think it sounds better than the free stuff you can download off of YouTube. You get that one screw, and it goes in this thing.
I'm always sniffling. I don't know why. Probably because I still am Charlie Monster.
You still dream of building towns that you can drip boogers over. You're like, someday you will be imaginary town victims of booger rain.
In a world box. Wait, that's not a thing.
In a world where all the people are imaginary and they live in a block town and there is a giant Charlie Monster that stomps over them. It is not his feet that they fear, but his boogers.
Helicopter thingy. Stop. No. That's what happens when a person drowns in my boogers. A person tries to save them, but they get boogered.
Now we're going to change the Wi-Fi card out.
Yeah.
This ABG one with an ABGN. And I checked, and I made a screenshot of the speed of this one, and this one goes up to 54 megabytes a second. All right, so the one on the left is the ABG, and the one on the right is the ABGN, and it actually uses multiple antennas for MIMO. It's called multi-in, multi-out. You see, there's a chip there, but you don't have to use all the antennas. You can check out my previous video where I go into a little bit of the details of how you make sure this is the right length to fit the slot.
How often did I sneeze back then?
Like every 10 minutes.
So
It was so funny trying to get you to use tissue. You were like, You were blowing with your mouth instead of your nose?
Because I still do a lot of Charlie Monster things. Isn't that true, Dad?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is holding the keyboard up
Get out, random
because
studs.
it's not in the right spot. I'm going to move my hands out of the way. I'll show the camera.
That's probably why I have random subscribers on my YouTube channel anyway.
Yeah, I wonder how many of my subscribers are friends I know versus random people. Get subscribed.
I think
Click the red thing. All right, pause the video just for a second. My son made me agree to do something for my 10th subscriber, and I said I would do a 2-second dance. So we'd better do that before I conclude this video. And there's no room in here, so hold on. I think there's enough room over here. Let's get this going on. Ugh. Okay. There you go. 2-second dance. Subscribe so I can come up with some thing to do at some arbitrary number of subscribers later. All right, so the CPU went in pretty easy. I used flathead bit from my ifixit kit to straighten out a couple pins that were bent. The Wi-Fi card went in really easily too, but there were problems with both of them not being compatible. They were both compatible with the motherboard, but being accepted. And I'll show you right here, starting with, this is the same model CPU as the one that I put in the laptop. So I rebooted the laptop and went into BIOS and checked that it had a T7400. It did recognize it in BIOS. I don't know what's up with that. I even tested it in CPU-Z. I downloaded a program called Handbrake, which is used for converting video files. And I grabbed the project files for one of my videos and started converting it to MP4 and watched to see if it would try to utilize more than 1.83 gigahertz of the CPU, which you can see here is what this is, but it didn't. It was capping it for some reason. The other problem was with the Wi-Fi card. It said this, error 1802, unauthorized network cards plugged in, power off and remove the mini PCI network card. I'll put the other network card in for now, but I'm going to put it back in because I've done some research on these topics and I'm going to be heading them off in the next video. So it disappoints me that none of the other T60 videos on YouTube mention this. It's like, what's wrong with my laptop? I am going to start with updating the BIOS on it. So get subscribed so you can see that next video. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye.